Hi, this is Ryan. I hope you're having a great day today. I wanted to go over a project that I have recently been working on. I want to keep the video short and sweet, so without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. This video is being recorded in April of 2020 for reference. The goal of this project is to web scrape data from Yahoo Finance and draw insights. It does so for the given ticker symbol or company that I specify, in this case Chipotle Mexican Grill. So let's go ahead and take a look at the visualized output. So what I like to do is to take a look at the gaps in between these points here. So this has the total revenue, cost of revenue, the gross profit, and net income. I look at the gaps in between. It gives me a nice visualization of how much sales a company did in a given year and what the company took away. The visualization illustrates their gross margin and net margin, which showcases how efficiently a company can turn its sales into profits. Now, we also have the year-over-year margin efficiencies. These encompass key metrics that I find insightful and helpful when considering if I want to invest in a given company. So, we have the return on assets, and we have the operating profit margin, the net profit margin, and return on equity. Moving on, we have growth comparison. So right now I only have one stock in here, that being Chipotle. However, we can have a multitude of stocks and look at the growth comparison of each over time. And for this illustration, we're just looking at the price difference or the price changes for just Chipotle. If you were to invest in Chipotle 5 years ago, you would have profited about 5.3% from your principal invested. I want to take a look at the Excel output. Can't talk today. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, so here's the income statement being scraped, and then the balance sheet, and the cash flow sheet, and the historical data. Now, some of this data is scraped, but a good amount of it is being derived using mathematics to generate some of these figures, like normalized price, percent growth, and here as well on the statistics page. These are things I find useful and things I like to look at when considering investing in a stock. Now I want to run another example here. Let's say you were interested in the airline industry, and imagine you wanted to invest in an airline company, but you're wondering, okay, well, how have these airlines been performing over the years? So we're going to look at United, American Airlines, and Delta, and we'll see how they performed. Now we can see here United Airlines and Delta have kind of been racing alongside each other. They've kind of been neck and neck. The blue and the green lines, they're pretty close. American Airlines kept up for a while, but around, it looks like March 2018, you can see they were starting to decline and diverge from the others, the competition. Noticing this decline might spark some questions like, was there bad news that came out around this time? It might spark some research, something that you may want to look into within the company. It may have just been earnings or sentiment. Who knows? But I think that while past performance doesn't necessarily indicate or guarantee future performance, I think that some value can be derived when looking at a chart like this. Now I want to do one more example. Let's take a look at big tech. Let's say you wanted to invest in a big tech company. I also actually have the NASDAQ index in here. At the time of this video, I believe big tech makes up about 20 to 25% weighting in the NASDAQ composite. The NASDAQ's a little more tech heavy than the S&P 500, and Dow Jones. So I think it makes sense to compare. Some investors also like to cherry pick stocks, individual stocks for investment, while others like to invest in a bundle or index of stocks, such as the NASDAQ Composite. So I felt it'd be an interesting comparison to look at the performance of these individual big tech giants relative to the NASDAQ index and see how they fared. Looking at this, we can see Amazon's done really well in the past 5 years. If you invested 5 years ago, your principal would have grown to about 362% of what you originally put in. You can kind of see how the competitors in big tech have fared as well. I also like using this tool where you can look at the growth percent at a given time for each of the equities shown here and see how they have grown or fallen with consideration to the pandemic or news. So, for example, in February, we can see a lot of them have been declining. And we can see how the prices have held up, how the companies have held up. Anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.